Good Wednesday morning, everybody. This is Robert People of RobertPeople.com, and you're listening to People's Court. Thank you for tuning in. Today is Wednesday, April 8th, 2020. We've been hearing a lot about this drug, hydroxychloroquine, that Donald Trump has been promoting very often during his press conferences, his press briefings. And here's what I want to say about that. It's disturbing to begin with that he's doing it, but let's take it a step further. We're going to forget the fact. Let's just ignore the fact that he has a financial tie to the person who produced this. Okay, the producer of this drug, yes, Donald Trump is financially tied to this person. Okay, which should not surprise us with him being a businessman, quote unquote. So none of us should be shocked by that news. He has a financial tie to this. But even if we take that out of the equation altogether, what he's saying is, and I would just paraphrase the bits that I've heard, it might work, it might not work. If it does, great. If it doesn't, that's basically his tone. Now, by this time, people are pretty close to fed up. I just finished grocery shopping myself, and no, people aren't knocking things over in the shelves and, taking bites out of each other's necks. We're not quite to that extent yet. But folks are a little stressed, a little tired of things, ready for some sense of normalcy to return back to this country at least. Okay, whatever your definition of normal is. Okay, if it ever was there. Now, this is the reason I say that even upon this drug working, and again, he said it could work, could not work. It might work, might not. Here's why I say that whatever the case, it wouldn't make a difference. I'm not happy with it. I wouldn't be happy with it, and a lot of us should not be either, and here's why. First and foremost, which is the main reason on top of all this should not be coming out of Donald Trump's mouth. Period. You are the president of the United States. That means that what you say, especially when you have that platform, needs to be evidence-based. End of story. Evidence-based. No one is interested in what you think, how it might be, how it looks like. They want evidence-based, especially when you're talking about drugs. When you're talking about using drugs to cure a virus that brings about an immense level of uncertainty and insecurity in a lot of people, what comes out of your mouth needs to be evidence-based. There is no negotiating that. There is no getting around it. It needs to be evidence-based. I'm not interested in those who have this mindset of, well, with us, when we grew up, we tried this and that, and, we did stuff. We didn't follow the doctor's advice completely. We had home remedies and all that. That's all fine and well. But guess what? Donald Trump is not there. That's not where he is. We did all that stuff. Because we had no choice. We had no option. We were stuck there. We had to do that. We had to. We didn't have money. We didn't have resources. So we were stuck there. We Jimmy rigged and did all this stuff Jimmy rig, bootlegged, ghetto, whatever you want to call it. We did that because we had to. We had no other way to go about it. Donald Trump and the governors who still support him in regard to this drug, to include the governor of the state I'm living in now, which will be Governor Rick DeSantis talking to you. You're not in that place. You're not living in poverty right now. You don't have, you have options. You have a choice. You have medical staff. There's no reason home remedies and all that nonsense should be coming out of the agency of the, not the agency, I'm sorry, excuse me, but coming out of the White House, coming out of the Capitol building. That's, these Capitol buildings of these few states who still support this. Home remedies and little piece together, and this might work, and hey, y'all can try this. That should be coming out of there, because you all have, again, medical staffs. And it is too easy for you to have somebody vouch for the stuff that you're pushing. It's too simple. Way too easy. If you believe in this drug that much, get a doctor to vouch for you. Get a doctor to verify this. I have friends on Facebook that I've seen post articles, videos and such from doctors with, from the stance of pro in this, from the stance of saying this drug could work. Basically, sort of saying the same thing Trump's saying. And okay, that's fine and well. But I have two things for that one. Number one, if you're able to do that, no. Let me start with this one. Number one, doesn't it get exhausting having to justify Trump's actions all the time? I'm going to start right there. Don't you get tired of constantly having to find stuff to prove what Trump says and all the... Shouldn't that be his job? If it's coming out of his mouth, shouldn't he be the one shouldn't he be the one proving it? Why does he need his minions, aka supporters, aka whatever else you want to call them? Why does he need you all to help him out in proving things that he says, in bringing evidence to the table? That's what he's supposed to be doing. Doesn't that get tired? It gets tiring when I have to do that with my children and their kids. So I would get a little bit of a pass with that. But this man's 72 and the president of the United States. And he still needs you to prove stuff for him? Doesn't that mean something? Doesn't that say something to you? And number two, if you're able to find this information online, then for the most part, whether it's verifiable, whether it's true or not, if you're able to find this stuff online, why can't he? Why can't these governors? You can find it online. That means the information is accessible. If it is valid, if it's legitimate, it should be easy for them to get their hands on it, right? They could contact this doctor, and that's an easy part of the job. They don't even have to make the call themselves. They can just have their chief of staff, their people call these doctors and say, hey, can you speak at this press briefing, at this press conference, whatever you want to call it? Can you come and speak to that in this setting? That's easy. If you believe in it like that, just do it. Not to mention it will shut everybody up, right? The Democrats and and everybody who's against, boy, nothing will be a bigger win than to be able to prove something, solid evidence, bring solid evidence to the table. Throw it down, bow, there you go. Let the doctor go ahead and speak their part. And Trump, you can stay in the background. You can stand in the cut and make faces and do whatever it is that you do. Rather than trying to talk over your experts, you can sit back there and let them do all the talking for you and make you look like a stone genius. That's it. We can't argue if a doctor's standing up there telling us, but you're the one doing it. And you're talking over you're sitting there talking over your experts. You're talking over your experts. People don't need to hear what might work. They don't want to hear you push something because you have a financial tie to it. And as I said in the beginning of this, even if this worked, it doesn't make a difference to me. Because, again, you need to be pushing out, as the President of the United States and these governors, you need to be pushing out evidence-based information when it comes to drugs, things people are putting in their bodies. People are tired of being used as guinea pigs. They're sick of it. And we've gotten to a point, and this is not Trump's first time doing this, or a few select Republican governors and other politicians. We've gotten to a point where we don't even try to hide stuff anymore. Don't even try to hide it. Yeah, racism was a problem in this country, but when Trump got in office, he doesn't even hide it anymore. He just comes right out and says what he says. As far as treating people like guinea pigs, we don't know if this thing's going to work, but I'm going to still promote this. Don't even care. Don't even try to pretend that you care about people not being treated like guinea pigs. People are sick of that. We sit back and people can get up here and push vaccinations all day, while at the same time they bad mouth everybody who doesn't take it. But you know what? There's so much guinea pig behavior going on. Folks don't want that. I'm somebody who vaccinates, by the way, so don't come on here and try to preach to the choir with me. Because the bottom line is, it doesn't work on everybody. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't work on everybody. Vaccines don't work. In fact, in some cases, either it doesn't work or it puts them in worse shape than they were in before. I don't care what you think about all this and that, because whatever it is that you do think, it's not going to change that person. If a person, in other words, let me explain it this way. You can give all of whatever it is you want to give, all your evidence, all your this and that, but if it doesn't help the person, what difference does it make anyway? How can you argue if it does not help that person? How can you argue if it puts the person in worse shape? That means whatever they're getting the vaccine for is not working. So there's still going to be, the risk is going to be there, even if the person decided to get vaccinated. So let's come off that soapbox of them and everybody needs to vaccinate because everybody's stupid if you don't. Let's come off that soapbox. And let's remember that everybody can't be vaccinated. There's reactions, there's side effects, and all this happens, again, without any kind of relief, any kind of recovery. So what? Get vaccinated, get shot up for what if it doesn't do anything? But people are tired of being guinea pigs. We shouldn't be pushing, try this, try that. Get your doctor to come up there. Get medical professionals. Let them talk. Let them speak. Don't talk over them because you don't like some reporter. Put that mess aside. Let your experts do the talking. That saves you trouble. That saves you time. Let them do it. That's just somebody to blame if something doesn't go right. Isn't that your thing, Mr. President? That's your thing, to blame folks, blame everybody when something doesn't go the way you want it to go. That gives you another opportunity to put it on somebody besides you. Don't get me wrong. If it works on people and saves lives, great. Me saying it doesn't matter does not mean I don't care if it saves lives. And some of y'all are not going to be able to follow that. But it doesn't mean I don't care that it saves lives. Because whatever the case is, it still should not be coming out of this administration in the manner that it's coming out. Mr. President is like this. And all your supporters, all the president's supporters, let me make it clear for you. If he is right today, he will be right 7 days from now. If he is right about this drug today, he will be right about this drug 30 days from now. If he's right now, he will be right later. But if he is not correct with this, or this does not have a 95 plus success rate, then more people are going to suffer. More people are going to pay. And I say 95% because there's nothing out there. As much as we pay for this damn medication, all these medicines out here, as much as we pay for them, none of them are foolproof. There's all these side effects, which are often worse than why you're taking the medicine in the first place, but here nor there. None of them are 100%, so that's why I say 95 plus percent success rate. Anything short of that, it's not a success. I hate that that's where we are, where we have to bank on an almost, working on everybody, working on almost all who take it, rather than just saying, look, we're paying all this for medicine, damn, it should work on everybody. I will go to my grave believing that. With everything this country is paying for medicine, it needs to work on everybody. And if it doesn't, you take your ass back to the drawing board and you figure it out. Because people are paying too much for stuff to maybe work. People are paying too much for more problems to be created once they take this stuff. People are paying too much for it to be hit or miss. We know this medicine doesn't cost what it does, what y'all telling us it costs. We know that. We know it. But at the end of the day, the president, the governors, y'all shouldn't be pushing this stuff without evidence. Don't push without evidence. What you think is not evidence. What you feel is not evidence. What worked on this one dude over here is not evidence. What this person said way over on this side is not evidence. Evidence is a medical professional speaking on the subject. And on top of it, letting us know how it works. This drug hasn't even been tested on coronavirus patients. That I understand, that I believe, as of this moment. And pardon me if I'm incorrect on that, but it has not been either tested or approved. I'll say approved because I know for sure it hasn't been approved for use on coronavirus patients. I know that. And if that's the case, we shouldn't be pushing it. If it has not been approved, don't do it. There's too many people out here who will listen to the president. And before you jump on that, you don't have to support the president to listen to him. In fact, I've heard people straight up say, I don't support anything this president does. But at this time, aren't we supposed to listen to him? I don't blame that person at all for saying that, because that's what a lot of people think. That's why with the president, he has to understand that you're not talking to just your supporters. You're not talking to just your supporters. There are people who want nothing to do with politics, but they're still listening. They still feel they have to. People have asked me that many times too. And we can't get on these people for saying, aren't you supposed to listen to the president? Because, that's the position you're sitting in. Do we have to listen to him? No. But at the same time, what's coming out of your mouth should be worth listening to. Evidence-based. No one's gonna come down on the president if you don't have evidence on why this is. But if you're continuing to push it out there and you don't have evidence of it, you're cutting off your doctors, you're interrupting your doctors, your medical professionals, your experts, you're interrupting them to continue pushing something that you don't have proof of. You don't have evidence of. It's not been approved. That's a problem. That is a big, big problem. And even if this worked on everybody, one part of me is going to say, great, they've survived, they've recovered, wonderful. But that other part of me is not changing anything I just said. Because again, this isn't about rolling the dice. This is about lives. You roll the dice and save somebody's life. The saving life part is good. That's excellent. That part is great. The rolling the dice, no. Because if you have to constantly, you have people's lives in your hands, and your option, your choice, your solution is to roll the dice to save them, then that speaks volumes. That says a lot. Thank y'all for listening. This is Robert People of robertpeople.com. Hang in there. One day at a time. We will get through this. Take care.